I'm very good at kind of keeping my head down and creating a little bubble and just working hard. And then sometimes I'll look up and I'm like, oh my goodness, wow, that's cool. And then
like I did this?
and then I'll look back down and just keep zone in, focus. And then I'll look back up. And so I think that I've been doing a lot of that. So it does shock me and surprise me a lot of the time when I take a step back and look at everything that my brother and I have been able to accomplish. And it's a really cool experience too, because just like you said that you've been following our journey for the past, not even just 6 years, like it's been longer.
It has been
for, the past, 7 years. So has our audience. And it's really special. And I think, I get a lot of testimonials from customers and people that have been following the brand for that long, is that, they'll share things like I the reason why I trust you and I support this brand is because I literally saw you with your cousin 7 years ago in a garage, like talking about these ingredients, like trying to make these videos by yourself, and to see that growth and it be authentic. Like, it's not like I came in with all of this funding or with all of these other people that, the secret like angel investors or something like that. It was like, no, girl, like we saw that hard work, and it kind of shows like that testament that you really can make something out of nothing. And it's hard, but I do think that people being able to watch that journey from, packing boxes off, in mid-city with my little cousins to, now being in thousands of retailers and being able to just, be like a worldwide brand is really special. And I definitely think that it is a testament to not just myself, my hard work, but also the community that has been there supporting us from afar for so many years.
Oh my gracious.
Even back in high school, Jennifer inspired more than
Cambié la imagen por vender discos.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga.
What's going on? It's your girl, Alyi V. Welcome to Growing Up Latina. And I'm so excited. If you guys are not tapped in on the visual side of it all, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Growing Up Latina, because, your girl loves to give receipts. And in those receipts, we have our interview that happened 6 years ago with our guest today. And I'm so excited because I get to kiki and catch up with my girl, Julissa Prado, CEO of Rizos Curls. How are you?
I'm doing so good. I'm so honored to be here today with you.
Yo, I'm so excited. I love moments like this when I can catch up. And I was just telling you offline, like the last time I saw you, it was like quick. Like I was literally waiting for the buzz. And you was like, hey, girl. I'm like, hey, girl.
I know.
So I get excited when I have literally watched your career like kind of evolve and take form into like this whole new thing. Yeah. When we first sat down, you only had 3 products.
Yeah.
And since then you have like a gazillion now.
Yeah, literally.
So I'll get into my first question. I guess my first question and where I want to start, usually we always start with the sala because that's very much like season 2 of like Growing Up Latina vibes with the sala. But where I want to start with you is if you took the full body of work that you produced over the last 10 years and the work that you're going to produce in the next 10 years, and you had to explain to our audience like your mission and where does it stand, what would you say?
Yeah, I think that my mission is still to help people celebrate, embrace, and learn their natural hair texture through clean, high quality products. And while doing that, also, upholding my values, our values, giving back to our community, and giving back, and also paying it forward in whatever way that I can. And in this journey, for example, we're still self-funded. So I do think that the success of the business is kind of gives me a responsibility to kind of make sure that I share that blueprint, that I help other people on their own journeys too, just because I feel like you don't really see that. It's really hard to see and to be exist in this place without having tons of money, tons of like capital from the beginning. So I think it's that. It's just to help people learn and love their natural hair texture and to fully embrace that part of them and do cool stuff.
Now, you say you're 100% self-funded.
Still, yeah.
Still. Now,
Yeah.
I just want to be clear for the audience. So self-funded can mean so many things,
Yeah.
right? Like that doesn't mean that you're not taking sponsorships. That doesn't mean that you're not collaborating. That doesn't mean that you don't have a line of credit. It just means that
I own my business.
You
Yeah.
own your business. Now, is that intentional with not having partners?
Yeah.
And if so, what are your hesitations with going into partnership?
Yeah. So pretty much we have a lot of businesses when they first start, sometimes they'll start with, investors or different partners that own part of the business. And in exchange, they give them money. Kind of like what you see on Shark Tank when people go on there and they say, we'll give you $1 million for exchange, 25% of your business. So we don't, nobody else owns the business. So we do have a line of credit that we have used in the past. So like you mentioned, I have found funding in other ways, whether it's through just, reinvesting our profits, because pretty much till this day, like I still don't really pay myself, and profits that we've made and it's because profits that we've made from the business, instead of like paying myself, I'll reinvest them into the business so that I don't need investors. But I will say that I'm not closed off to it in the future, just because I do think that something that I have learned now is that as my business grows, its needs are going to change as well. And that has nothing to do with my ego. So if bringing on somebody else that is going to have part ownership is the best decision for the business, and that's the decision I'm going to have to make. And I'm going to check my ego at the door.
Yeah. I think the most I guess for me, when I look at your business, it's a couple of things, right? It's one that yes, it is self-funded, but also like you've involved your family into this, which for me, I have like the opposite thing, and shout out to my family. I love my family. But sometimes it's difficult to work with your family, right? Like it's not like the easiest thing. And like you said, there is a lot of ego involved. And like you've made this work with your family. Like how does that aspect work? And like how do you put this boss hat on, still checking them, but still being polite? Because this is truthfully your family.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. My brother and I definitely go at it. I feel like the good thing about it is like, I think if I wasn't related to him, I wouldn't be able to be as blunt as if I wasn't, I'm sorry, if I wasn't related to him, I definitely would have to be way more PC than I currently am, and vice versa. So I do think that we kind of have thicker skin and just kind of can be very direct with each other and hurt each other's feelings sometimes, because honestly, sometimes you need to hurt the other person's feelings to let them understand or to help them grow or just be honest with them. And sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. And I think that that's one thing that I've learned with family is that the right thing to say is not always the thing that you want to hear, but it is what is needed at that moment if you want what's best for you in the future.
Did you ever think like this from the moment that we spoke, which was 6 years ago, to everything that you have evolved into?
Yeah.
Did you foresee this? Like, was this in your blueprint, in your plan?
Yeah. I think that I'm very good at kind of keeping my head down and creating a little bubble and just working hard. And then sometimes I'll look up and I'm like, oh my goodness, wow, that's cool. And then
Like, I did this?
and then I'll look back down and just keep zone in, focus,
Yeah.
focus, and then I'll look back up. And so I think that I've been doing a lot of that. So it does shock me and surprise me a lot of the time when I take a step back and look at everything that my brother and I have been able to accomplish. And it's a really cool experience too, because just like you said that you've been following our journey for the past not even just 6 years, like it's
Yeah.
been longer.
It has been.
For the past 7 years. So has our audience, and it's really special. And I think I get a lot of testimonials from customers and people that have been following the brand for that long, is that they'll share things like I the reason why I trust you and I support this brand is because I literally saw you with your cousin 7 years ago in a garage, like talking about these ingredients, like trying to make these videos by yourself, and to see that growth and it be authentic. Like, it's not like I came in with all of this funding or with all of these other people that the secret like angel investors or something like that. It was like, no, girl, like we saw that hard work, and it kind of shows like that testament that you really can make something out of nothing. And it's hard, but I do think that people being able to watch that journey from packing boxes off in mid-city with my little cousins to now being in thousands of retailers and being able to just be like a worldwide brand is really special. And I definitely think that it is a testament to not just myself, my hard work, but also the community that has been there supporting us from afar for so many years.
There's so much that I want to get into. I want to get into Ulta, of course, because you did it big with that one.
Yeah.
You bought out the band. You did it huge. But I also want to get into like the infrastructure of your business. Because like you said, like, I've been watching this journey for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Your family is heavily a part of this, but there's also like lessons that are learned throughout those years, right? So like, what are some of the lessons? Because it wasn't like, and just so you know, like I've used your product even before I met you.
Yeah.
And yes, you've created a brand that you can trust, a product that you can trust, something that is reliable, something that actually works. You see a lot of products out here, they don't work. They don't work. They have to put out a little statement after, but you're not that. So what are some of the lessons that you've learned throughout these 6-7 years where you may have had to tweak maybe some sort of foundation within the business?
Yeah, I think that it's really interesting because something that I have learned that I need to, as I grow, I have to continue reminding myself is to trust my intuition. And so many times, like I'll make decisions because I think that's what other people want, or I'll feel pressured to do something or to rush. Like, let's say I'm like, I'm feeling pressured to rush a formula or rush anything. And I just have to remind myself, like, let them be mad. Let us not miss the deadline. Yeah. Like, if I don't stay true to that intuition, to that voice inside me, like I'm going to make mistakes that are going to be detrimental in the long run. Mm-hmm. So sometimes like people get upset. Like there's things where we get in trouble all the time, or I miss deadlines, I miss things. But at the end of the day, I'm constantly have to almost be like the representative of my customers, mm-hmm. but do it in every single day in the smallest minute ways of like, no, the community wouldn't like that, or like, no, we can't rush this, we can't do that, no, we need one more week, no, we need to go back and try it one more time. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like I'm constantly almost like in battle behind the scenes with, so you would not even know how many different directions that you can be pulled with everybody wants something very quickly and it's et cetera. So I feel like I'm constantly having to just go back, and even if people are upset, just stay true to the customer and do what I know is right for them.
Yeah. I feel like I battle with that in my business. My producer's always telling me, you have to get to a point where you fire yourself. Your business should run without you. So
It's hard.
It's hard. It is hard.
Yeah.
So how involved are you in your business at this stage?
Yeah.
Because you are very successful.
Yeah, I'm still very involved, and that is something that I'm working on. I'm working on it not relying so much on me, but it is hard.
It's so hard,
because
girl. I can't.
it's almost like only you, because it's like, you're passionate and you understand it and see it, and not only see the business for what it is right now, but also for its potential. You're the only one that will, when you've been working on something nonstop, you're the only one that has that extra 10% of energy to say, like, let's do it again, or let's change this, or there's 20 minutes left and you're like, now we got to start all over, or we could do better, or there's only you are the one that can make these little tweaks when everyone else is just on E.
Yeah, they burnt out. Everybody else, they don't want to hear this.
Everybody else is burnt out. They're not trying to hear that. But only you are the one that has that extra, like, little bit of fuel left to make those tweaks that really differentiate it and make it that much better.
Yeah. I think for me, like, because my team is always telling me, like, Alyi, you wake up talking about Growing Up Latina. You go to sleep talking about Growing Up Latina. And I'm like, that's what passion sounds like.
That's true.
Like, that's like, I don't care what's in the news. I don't care about what's happening.
This is my bubble.
This is my bubble. This is what I'm focused on. So, like, how do you drown out the excess noise? Because to your point, there is a sense of, like, intuitiveness within you. Yeah. And that's what makes you a successful leader.
Yeah.
But, like, how do you know when to turn it off?
So
enjoy your own personal life.
Honestly, it's hard. Like, I am a Pisces, so I'm also delusional. So I could stay in my bubble forever and be chilling, happy as can be in here. Yeah. But I will say that I'm actually reading this book called Ikigai. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No, what's this
but
about?
It's pretty much the book. The book is looking into this Japanese principle of Ikigai, and the reason why it's looking into it is because it's analyzing this group of elderly people that they have so Japan has the highest life expectancy rate in the world.
Okay.
And specifically this one town in Japan, the elderly people have a really high quality of life. They're a lot healthier. They have a lot of great things. They just have much better health than your average elderly person in another country. And one of the things that's different is this principle of Ikigai. And one of the main things about Ikigai is that no matter your biggest life lesson or life mission should be to find your Ikigai, which is, like, find that passion, find that thing that makes you wanna, like, do it, even if no one's watching, even if no one pays you, even if
get up in the morning,
that motivation. And they explained with this one anime cartoonist artist, and they explained how the day after he retired, he, like, went back and to his studio, and then he was like, I'm just gonna keep drawing. I'm not gonna release anything, but, like, I'm still coming in. And then and everyone was, like, just really shocked to see him at the office, at the studio the day after he retired. And he's like, this is what makes me happy. But now I'm literally not doing it for y'all. I'm doing it for myself.
That's right.
And it was just explaining how when you have found your Ikigai, which for you, it's broadcasting.
Yeah, it's always been this for me.
It's this realm. When you have found that, they say that is, like, the biggest blessing in your life. And you shouldn't feel bad or feel, like, remorse of not embracing it, because it's a huge blessing in your life.
I think for me, I feel like, damn, is this the only thing that I'm talking about? Nothing else? Like, I'm like, hello, how are you? Is everything okay? How's your family? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I try to go through the steps, but for me, it's like, I don't care about anything else. Like, this is all I care about.
You have to read the book, because that's what they have. They describe as how it feels to find your Ikigai, which is it's like you unlock. It's like if you're playing a video game and you unlocked, like, the final, like most
Like that's
important level.
Yeah.
It's finding your ikigai and being able to walk in it. Exactly. So you definitely reached it.
And you reached it as well.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so you have this hair care brand, which, by the way, we speak about hair a lot on Growing Up Latina because the reason why it actually started from like my mom, right? Like my mom telling me going on job interviews, make sure you push back your hair. And honestly, it happened up until I was about 30 years old. I was going to a job interview and I was just like, let me push back my hair. And then someone younger than me was like, she had a nose piercing. She had her nails long.
They did
she
not
had
care.
her hair curly. And I'm like, why is she doing that? That's kind of weird to me. And I even asked her, I was like, hey, you don't feel like you should push your hair back? She was like, no. She had that very demure lifestyle. Like the way I come to the interview is how I'm gonna come to the job. And I'm like, I was like, I don't know. I was raised a little different. Like I was raised like you got to push your hair back. And it's been such a huge thing, like a theme on our show because, again, hair is a topic for us growing up. What was your experience with your hair growing up?
Same thing. It was, I mean, I went through many years of straightening it and just, you know, not liking my curly hair and just like not embracing it at all and not understanding it either. But I do think that what I have learned on my journey of my own self-love journey has been that the first step towards that self-love journey is loving the thing that you hate most about yourself. So as soon as you love that thing, for everybody it's different. For some people it's their hair. For some people it might be, I don't know, their sexuality, their culture, their body, their whatever that thing is that you've been taught to hate about yourself. As soon as you embrace that, it's just like it unlocks so many blessings for you in your life, and it unblocks like one of the biggest gifts that you can give yourself, which is like true self-love and then
that freedom
and it just allows you to start really living at peace with yourself and really be able to embrace like the full version of you. So it's kind of ironic that life, you know, teaches you that lesson. But I definitely think that was the case for me.
Yeah. I recently had an assignment. I was on a job where I was doing like marketing, and for like a month they saw me with my hair straight. And then I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to wear my hair curly. Like, it's too much. Because honestly, it's easier for me to wear my hair curly, do my makeup, letting my hair dry. And I wear my hair curly. And I just remember like going into the office and they were like, oh my God, Alyi. And I saw some people like, they didn't want to say anything about my hair. And they were like, oh my God, your hair looks so good. And I was like, oh, like this is my natural hair. Like this is not even like.
This is not a wig.
This is not, this is like my natural hair. But I just remember like the feeling, like I felt so self-conscious.
Yeah.
And it stems from everything that I've been taught growing up. It wasn't even like me and Britt, because I love my hair curly.
Yeah.
But then you still get a little shy.
Yeah,
right?
you feel like everyone's looking at you.
Yes.
And you're like, well, as soon as you pass somebody that's looking at you, they might be just like looking in your direction, and you're like, they're looking at my hair.
They're looking at my hair. I want to talk about the marketing. You have stellar marketing. Two significantly that I can remember: the Sex and the City campaign.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Which I love. And the Selena campaign.
Oh yeah, that was fun too.
Which was amazing.
From Mexico.
Yes. So how are you coming up with these ideas? Because marketing is such a huge piece of it all, right? And you're coming up with original marketing, which we don't really see.
Yeah. So one of the things that I constantly have to remind myself and my team is that the fact that we are self-funded and we don't have, you know, another company or somebody else kind of telling us what we have to do, we can do whatever we want. Yeah. Like we literally, whenever we'll start working on certain projects and all of us are kind of like dreading it, we don't like it. We're like, oh, feels like, I'm like, why are we doing this? Yeah. Let's change it. Let's do something else. So we do have this rule that used to be my word of the year, which now this year's word of the year was elevate, but last year was fun. And the reason why it was fun is because...
Love this, by the way. I love the word of the year.
Yeah. So the reason why our word of the year for my business was fun last year is because we wanted to make sure to bring fun into every single campaign, every single project, every single launch, every video, everything that we did. I wanted to make sure that we were having fun creating it. We were having fun and giggling at the concept and just, having a great time, which then created an output that other people, when they received it, they're also enjoying it and they feel that fun that we're having creating it. And I think that sometimes we get so caught up in, how much engagement is it going to have? Like how are people going to like it? If are people going to like it? And you start overthinking things and you just forget to let's just have fun and do something that we think is so cool. Yeah. And I think the best campaigns and the best things we've done stem from that. They stem from just doing cool stuff that we really enjoy and we're just so proud of ourselves and we keep watching it over and over. And we're just, in awe of what we were able to create. So that's what I try. I try to tune everything else out, tune out what maybe other brands are doing or what other people are liking from other brands and just try to tap into what do I think is really cool, you know?
Yeah. So who comes up with these ideas? Is it you? Is it like a collective?
It's collective. It's a collaborative thing depending on what the idea is. Sometimes we'll have little creative sessions. A fun thing that we like to do sometimes for a creative session is I usually come in with a general concept of I want to think of an idea for this. And I want it to feel I usually start with what I want it to feel like. Yes. When people watch it, I want them to feel this. And then we'll say, everybody word vomit ideas into, your document or piece of paper for 10 minutes. And then we'll start up again in 10 minutes. So then we'll all be quiet and then we're all writing ideas. And then the 10 minutes are up and people start sharing. And then, we'll just keep doing that over and over. And sometimes the coolest ideas come in maybe 30 minutes of that.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I feel like some of the best marketing that I've even kind of witnessed has always been derived from the old school, right?
Yeah.
You look at what happened back then and you're like, how can I make this better?
It's nostalgic.
Yes, it's nostalgic.
Yeah.
So I
makes
love
you
that.
feel something.
Yes.
I that tip to always start any campaign or anything that I want to do with the feeling. It was actually my boyfriend Daniel from Kids of Immigrants. That's how they start their campaigns is they're what feeling do we want this? I don't know, streetwear collection is what they do. So they'll be like, what feeling do we want this hoodie or this shoe or this whatever to make you feel? And I thought that was just really brilliant.
Yeah. I think that's cool to also kind of have a partner where you can bounce back ideas from. Sometimes when you're dating someone that's also in the same industry as you, that can kind of be a little weird. Yeah. It's worked for you, which we love and we appreciate. I also want to get into, even with the marketing, right? There is an infrastructure of team.
Yeah.
And you may have been privy to this from your corporate background. But what have you learned and what lessons have you learned from your corporate background that you have instilled within Rizos Curls?
Yeah. I think something that I've learned is that as creative and flexible that you want to be, you need structure. Yeah. You need organization. You need to be very, very organized. You have to plan things ahead. Sometimes we, are the first ones to mess up on that and do things too last minute. But it's so important to take the time to have a strategy for the whole year, to have that foundation of what is our roadmap for the rest of the year, for next year, for et cetera. So I think that sometimes when you're so busy and you're going, you're only thinking about what you need to do at that moment. But it is really important to keep, doing that and keep going back to that strategy, going back to that roadmap.
Yeah. And now you have a new product that you launched.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes. So we just launched a new lengthening and thickening collection called Grow from the Roots, which includes a biotin shampoo and conditioner and 2 growth treatments, one for a hair thickening foam and another is a lengthening serum that is kind of like a gel cooling kind of consistency that you add directly to your scalp and your roots, and it helps with not only, giving you a healthy scalp, but also strengthening your hair follicles and making them grow faster. And I'm really excited about them because it's our first time, not only with this type of products, but also with elevated, like my word of the year this year is elevated. Elevated packaging, elevated.
You changed your color.
Yeah, so this campaign is green.
Yes, you were pink.
Yeah, well, I'm still pink.
Are you still pink?
Well, we're still
because you had like a whole thing on IG where you were like,
I was like, bro, too much pink.
You was like, I don't know, I'm growing up now. Do I want pink?
But for this collection specifically, it is green. We are gonna have like other colors for other collections, but this one is green just because it's very, botanical and has all of that, all those vibes. Like the scent of it is very rosemary eucalyptus. So it's our very first campaign where the look and the feel. I don't know if you've kind of seen some of the imagery from the campaign shoot that we did. And the actual packaging, it's very luxe, really nice and elevated. So I'm really excited about it. And I'm just really excited too about the formulas because, for example, with the Biotin shampoo and conditioner, do you know Dr. Sebi?
Yes,
okay.
Of course.
I love Dr. Sebi. I mean, he's somebody that so many people that are into holistic, medicine or
in
practices. He's, it's somebody that you try to go and learn from. And so anyways, one of the things that he would preach about for hair growth was batana oil. And I just remember really wanting to incorporate batana oil into some of my products. And it is a really hard ingredient to find and use and work with because one, even sourcing it, there's not that many manufacturers that work with it. It's only found in like very tropical climates, like Central America, for example. So it was, I mean, for him, he's in Honduras. I'm sure it was like very easy for him to get it.
Yeah.
But to incorporate into a product, it was very difficult. But we were able to incorporate it into the shampoo and conditioner, which I was just really excited about. Because it was something that I had been wanting for so long.
And you're like, I got it.
And I was like, oh, finally I was able to bring this this ingredient that I feel really strongly about into the formulas.
How difficult is it to like let go of like the older version of yourself? Because at first this whole Rizos Curls kind of was like your idea from the start, but you were a lot younger back then.
Yeah, I had like no money either, so
so now you've evolved into this. So how hard is it to like kind of listen to your team or kind of just say, hey, I'm going to let go of this part of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and transform into this and what this could be now.
Yeah. So it's not even hard. I if anything, is the opposite. Like I feel like, I mean, with good hesitancy, but like my brother and most of my team and even retailers are more nervous about updating the packaging, updating different things. Because they're like, this is what the customers are used to. This is what's working. And I'm the one that's like, no, like, let's update.
Because they come from that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. They're very like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I'm like, no, like, I cannot believe the same bottles that was like my only choice that I found myself driving around downtown. Like, I don't want to use those same bottles. Like, we still have a label. Like, I found this label, like, I just feel like we're in a different place. Like, let's do more luxe or nicer packaging, especially. And my team's more like, oh, what are the customers going to think? I'm like, they're going to be like, thank God. They're going to be like,
we grew up.
Great. Good job. You're printing on the bottles now. Good for you. But
we see the growth.
Exactly. Like, I've fully embraced it. And if anything, it kind of frustrates me that it isn't happening faster because I feel like this business is my baby and I've always seen the future of it. I think that I'm very grateful and very, understanding of where I was 7 years ago and why maybe the design and the packaging wasn't as elevated as I would have wanted to, because I was like all I could afford. I was mostly putting all of my money into what was inside of the bottles, the actual formula.
Yeah.
And I understand in order to start, like you got to start somewhere, and not every single detail can't be perfect when, you don't have capital behind you. Right. So I was like, it was always my intention to update it once I got the money to do so. So the fact that it's been 7 years and some of it isn't updated, I'm like, y'all,
hello,
that wasn't the plan. So I'm waiting, but yeah, I do want to update everything, not to throw shade at
the past version
of me, but just to show its growth.
Right. I want to get into your personal life. Can we?
Yes.
As much as you can share.
Let's do it.
Okay, so last time I seen you, you weren't in a relationship. You're now in a relationship.
Yeah.
Also, we're seeing like your friendships on the side on social media, which you didn't have that before. Not that you didn't have that, you just didn't showcase it as much. So you're in town in New York. You went to Melanie Cruz and Chiclet's wedding. How was that?
Beautiful. I love weddings.
Which Melanie we had on the show. She's hilarious, by the way. We love her.
She's a Gemini. I'm telling you, I attract Geminis. I love Geminis.
We love, even though I have a little
love-hate relationship.
I have a little love-hate, but I love Melanie. She's dope.
Yeah.
How was that wedding, and just kind of to see this love evolve?
Yeah, I think it was beautiful, and I think Melanie's has such a big heart, and she's such a beautiful human being that I was just like so happy for her, and so happy for, this new path but like this new journey that they're gonna be on as husband and wife. So it was really beautiful seeing it come to life, and I'm just very happy for both of them.
And you're such a girl's girl,
which
we love. Like, you're such
girl.
like a supporter. Like, you just want everyone to win.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I feel like
we love that.
I remember when I was younger and I would see on TV when it would be like girls that were talk shit about each other behind their backs, or on Mean Girls when they would be like, oh, I like your skirt. And they're like, that's the ugliest effing skirt. Yeah. And I'm like, just don't be friends with them. Just don't talk to them. Like, I don't get it. Just, if I don't like you, I'm just not going to talk to you. Yeah. So I definitely, I do value my friendships. And I think that everybody that I am friends with, it's because I'm like a fan of them as a human. And I just feel like really grateful to be able to be around them. So when I do see them win, I'm like, yes, she deserves it. Like, good for you.
How is Julie in a relationship?
Oh, Julie in a relationship.
Are you are you in your soft girl era?
Yeah, like I'm definitely soft girl era. It's really interesting because I'm a Pisces, so I feel like we have this soft girl era side, but then if we're kind of like the Powerpuff Girls, like the blue one that is like so sweet, but then when you make her upset, she becomes superhero that's like he starts crying and fighting. That's definitely me. Like, as long as you talk to me nice, I'm gonna be like soft
She's
girl
like,
era.
Talk to me nice.
Talk to me nice. But if you don't talk to me nice, I might bite your head off. So
I love the fact that you guys have a relationship, but then also can work together and collaborate. How has that space been for you to navigate? Like, is that easy for you to collaborate with your partner, or is that like weird? Like,
yeah, I mean, we don't do too many things. So because he's more in like the streetwear world and I'm in beauty, it's really interesting because his, industry is just so different than mine. And I'm constantly just learning new things that I bring into my industry that inspire me about how streetwear does things and vice versa. So I do think we do similar things, but it's different enough that it kind of still keeps us on our toes and we're able to kind of get inspiration and bring it back to what we do every day. So, and then, he does help me, like, for example, anytime we need anything printed or any production, like in that, for, tote bags or t-shirts or whatever, like my team already knows, or like Daniel, or anything designed. Oh, even when we try to design our own like tote bags, like we're doing, for example, we're doing a collab with Youth to the People, another beauty brand, a skincare brand that I absolutely love. Shout out to them because they keep my skin looking fresh.
Yes.
But we're doing a Mercado event in LA in a couple weeks, and we were making tote bags, and we tried to make the design for the tote bags ourselves. And then I remember I always show it to Daniel, and he was like, "Give me 30 minutes." So he was like, "Nah, give me 30 minutes." So he definitely helps a lot with design, and he's just really talented, and makes just, I don't know, he's very good at what he does. So I do appreciate the design help when he steps in.
Yes. I want to get into Ulta really quick before we get into our rapid fire questions. Ulta, you did it big. You did your big one with Ulta. Like, I've never seen it done like that. Like, what was that about? Like, what was the ideology behind that?
Behind bringing a horse to Ulta?
Like, you did it big.
Yeah. So again, I wanted to have fun with it, and we were when we were launching into Ulta in, what was that, 2021? We became the first Latina-owned curly hair care brand there. So I was like, oh,
No, you ran by that one too fast. You got to say that
yeah,
again. Like,
so we were the first
you
Latina curly hair care brand to launch. So
yeah,
I was I wanted to kind of like make a statement,
like pay homage
to it. So
yes.
I rode up on a horse to the Southgate location.
Like, but wait, who do you run this idea past?
I didn't run it past anybody.
You didn't call your mom.
Oh, yeah. Like, family.
Tell Daniel, like, yo.
Oh, family. Yeah.
D, let me tell you what we gonna do.
But Ulta corporate, like, I'm a very much ask for forgiveness later. Yeah. Just because I know there's no way they would have allowed a horse there. But it's like the neighborhood that we were doing it in. It's right by, so Southgate is really close to Compton, and Compton is known for, it's like Compton Cowboys, and a lot of people, like, it is normal, and it is really interesting because people don't know this about some LA culture, especially LA, like, Black and brown cultures. People really do have horses.
Right,
like,
so that's a normal thing.
It's a normal thing, like, especially in Compton, you see that all the time, where you see, like, for example, I don't know if you're familiar with the Compton Cowboys, but, like, they'll be just riding up on their horses, like, and it's definitely a very big part of Mexican cultures too. So you'll see that anywhere that they are able to. So my uncle actually has horses too, and they all live like mid-city, South LA area. But so I was like, I'm gonna ride up on a horse. Like, I love horses, and there's nothing more Mexican than that. And then it was funny because I told a few of my cousins and different people, and then it kind of turned into like a lowrider meetup too. And so there was like lowriders there. It was like, my cousins have a paleta shop called La Michoacana. So then they were like, oh, we're going to pull up with paletas. I was like, period. So then they came with like their paleta cart, and
it was a festival.
It became like a mini festival outside. And then my friends, they were like, oh, I know the security. Like, I'm going to make sure he doesn't call the police on us when we come up on the horse. I was like, perfect. And then somebody else knew one of the girls that worked at the store, and they're like, we're not going to call the police either. So I was like, that's all we need. So then we had like a mariachi, we had the horse. It was really cool too, because after I got off the horse, we were giving horse rides to like a lot of the kids and people that were there.
Epic.
And it was so many of them. It was their first time riding a horse, and it was like in the middle of the Ulta parking lot.
Talk about unforgettable. Like, what?
Yeah. So it was a really
that like
fun
the
day.
highlight of your, like, what has been the highlight of your career?
I mean, that definitely is up there, because it was just
I
really
would have
fun.
to imagine that's like one of the ones.
Yeah, I was like, I never thought I would do that, but I love that.
So good. What has been your favorite partnership so far?
There's been a lot of really cool ones. Honestly, I really liked, so we did something else with Youth to the People where we had a kickball game, and it was really fun. It was a beauty versus streetwear. So Youth to the People and Rizos Curls were on a team, and then KOI, my boyfriend's brand,
Kids of Immigrants,
they were on another team, and so we played kickball against them, and we beat them. And the majority of our team was girls, and their majority of the team was boys. So I took it very personal. So we had practices.
Yes.
Like we had like 9 a.m. practices on the weekend. Like one thing about me is I'm very competitive.
Are you?
I don't like losing. I'm not good at that. I'm not good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not good at not winning. Right. I'm not good at it. So yeah, I was like, I know we're girls, but we're gonna beat the boys. And then we did. We were very organized. We had game plans. Like we took it very seriously.
Yeah.
The refs there were like, y'all playing like you're out here trying to get a contract, like a kickball,
Like you taking it a little too serious.
kickball deal, exactly.
Right.
But,
oh man. Let's get into our rapid fire. Are you ready? So much has evolved even on this show. We didn't do rapid fire before. I don't believe we did.
I don't think we did.
Right? So we're going to do it now. Okay. These are going to go fast.
Okay.
Tell me you're Latina without telling me you're Latina.
Oh, girl, everything about me. My hair.
Period. Those curls. Love it. What does it mean to you to be Latina?
It means my love for my community, my family, and my culture.
Okay. What's your favorite Latin dish? Do you cook, Julie, by the way?
I'm okay. My parents are better.
I can make something.
I will say caldos. Like I love sancocho.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
caldo de camarón. Like I love like even lentejas. Like I love soups and caldos.
Okay. What's one thing you need in the morning?
Water.
Water.
I drink so much water.
So you really?
I do. As soon as I wake up like I have not drank water in years. I'm like,
that's like your. Okay. What is this chapter of your life called?
my green era.
Oh, which green is associated with money? We love this.
All of it.
It's
abundance. Botanical,
yes.
abundance, money, my new collection that's green, just a new color, a new version of me.
We love this.
Yeah, I think it's my green era.
Okay. What is something you would want to work on that you haven't already?
Ooh. Maybe a really big, I want to do a really big campaign, something big, maybe like a really big collab or something that's gonna kind of push the limits a little bit.
You know what? I don't know why I see you in acting.
Oh,
is that
I would
weird?
be an amazing actress.
I just feel like you tap into that bag so well.
I would definitely.
You don't take yourself serious like as much. You know where people can be a little shy.
Yeah,
like you just kind of go for it. So
I would be an amazing actress mainly because again I'm a Pisces and I'm delusional. So I feel like I would think I'm really that person. I would be like Jim Carrey when he forgot to like tap out of the character and he just like keeps being his character. That would be me.
That'd be you. Okay. If you had an opportunity to have the Last Supper with 3 Latinas, dead or alive, who would they be?
Oh my goodness, that's a hard question. I would say,
and it doesn't have to be a celebrity, by the way. It could be anyone, dead or alive.
Ooh, I would definitely have my grandma in there.
Okay.
It would be a random dinner, but I would have like my grandma, maybe Selena.
Period. We love her.
And who else? I'll do both my grandmas and Selena. Just
Yo, what are we eating at this dinner?
Oh, we're eating some Mexican food.
We're eating Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
What would you even ask Selena if you saw her?
I would be like, girl, tell me exactly what happened. Girl, what do you want me to do for you? Got you. I'm alive right now. So I got your back. How can I help you?
Finish this sentence. Growing Up Latina is
literally the most fun.
Period. And then also, if you can give 3 tips to an aspiring entrepreneur who wants to follow in your footsteps, what would you tell them?
Break the rules.
Okay.
Being delusional is not always bad. You need to have some delusion in order to see the vision that nobody else does. And 3 is have fun.
Period. Julissa Prado, Rizos Curls. Thank you so much. I'm so excited, like I told you before, to even have you on the show again for the second time. So much has happened. I'm so glad to be following your journey. I know that you're going to continue to do amazing things, and I'm going to be watching.
No, thank you. And likewise,
so you know.
I'm so proud of you, and thank you so much for having me. You were one of the very first people that ever interviewed me and just, supported my brand. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
I love you so much, Julie. Thank you.